So Chima, what's your concept of building men? Building men in politics. Is it what we have? Take for instance, like I recall the day we had a conversation about how the APC presidential flag bearer emerged, and we were able to say that it was because of the men he has built when it comes to politics, and he played a role in his emergence. So that concept of building men, maybe with money or with elected position, is that ideal?
Well, you talk about sustainability. Even if it's in business, they call it succession planning, right? And you find that in my own analysis, and this is purely subjective, but I am beginning to think, I have not subjected this to rigorous thinking, so if I'm wrong, pardon me. But I'm beginning to think that some of the good leaders we found in Nigeria, at least from 1999 to this period, were mainly accidental. They were not products of the system, because if you had allowed the system would not have produced a P2B as the governor of Anambra State. The system would not have produced him. If you also allow the system will not produce him as the next president of Nigeria. That's some of the good leaders, and that is just one example. I can point 2 or 3 more across different states, right? And what I find is that they are not products of the system. They were products of ability to disrupt the system. But they succeeded in part in trying to bring disruptive governance, but they did not succeed, in my own analysis, in trying to entrench or engender or institutionalize good governance. Take for instance someone like P2B, who has been the governor of Anambra State for 8 years, and I look around him, I don't see young men and women who want to be the next P2Bs. Who are if you had Awoists, you had Zikists, you had but I don't see. Okay, now you are beginning to see obedience, but the obedient movement is a movement that wants to get someone in power. It is not a movement of deliberate picking young men and women who you have identified that there is something in this person. Let me bring him close and offer him mentorship, because diamonds don't come refined. There are a lot of young men and women, I believe, in Anambra and beyond, who might be able to, in the next 10 years, let us plan to hand over these people to people like this, to people like this. You bring those people close and you give them small positions of responsibility and begin to offer them trainings. And then, for instance, then some governors, after being governor, imagine being a governor for 8 years. You see it in the United States, for instance, that after someone had done a tenured position as a government official, sometimes you see them running small school. Either they go back to classroom or they run a small school of politics and governance, trying to influence younger generation, telling them, this is the ropes, this is what I did when I got here. This is, our leaders don't write books, so you don't get to read of their stories. They don't write memoirs. They don't have school. So there is no deliberate. If I am a young person, for instance, aspiring to become someone like P2B, there is no strategic playbook. I just have to wing it. You know, I'll just have to try my luck, and if you try, it doesn't work. You pick your bag and you go to Canada, right? And then you are now from Canada tweeting about Nigeria. That's the thing. And then, so I don't see that there is deliberateness, and that's why I would advise, I'm praying that this movement succeeds. But if we have gotten into that place, there must be a deliberate plan now to institutionalize so that you have a system that throws up credible people. And this is not to be confused with the idea of, for instance, what we saw in Anambra State in the past dispensation, where you bring in a couple of young people who are almost in competition as to who will plunder the most. That is not the kind of leadership recruitment I'm talking about. That is not someone who should be salaried and he all of a sudden, because he was made one assistant to the governor on this, he now has money cannot be accounted for. He doesn't have any character, does not have acumen. He is just as a conduit pipe. That is not what I mean by leadership recruitment or being deliberate about leadership recruitment. I think I have defined the parameters.